Hey everyone, so in today's video we're going to be doing a Q&A on my Instagram and a few other places I put up. Just a place where you could comment and ask any questions you guys had. So that being said, let's jump right in with question number 1. So first question is, what is my favorite chord? For me personally right now, I'm really liking, it's an E major 7 chord but with a major 2nd in it. Except the 7th and the 2nd. Or the 2nd and the 7th are an octave up, so it's a 9 and 14, I guess would be the correct way of saying that. It's a really cool chord, definitely check it out. So the next question is how to balance being on a consistent level when knowing how to play multiple instruments. So this is like, when this question popped up, I was super excited about it. I feel like this is something I can really geek out over. But yeah, so I play about 7 different things, not all of them as consistently as the others, but my main focus now is definitely on guitar, bass, and drums. And I think in the end it all boils down to your practice routine. And I think this quote came from my high school band teacher, but it is make sure you're not playing, make sure you're practicing. But basically what it means is that a lot of people will sit down and they think they're practicing, but instead they just play. So basically, you know, they're not really critiquing the work, they're not trying to improve, they're just sitting down playing the same thing or multiple things over and over again that they've known forever. My advice would be to really take just 1 or 2 things and just for 15 minutes a day, just practice them, critique them, and be hard on yourself in a good way. Look at it and say, did I really botch that run or not? Or, be honest with yourself and figure out ways to improve it. And it doesn't need to be this crazy practice schedule of an hour a day and just really burn yourself out. Just take 15 minutes and just really give that 15 minutes pure concentration and focus on improving it as whatever you're working on as much as possible, and you'll see huge amounts of improvement. As it relates to the whole question, if you do that on every single instrument, whether it's drums or bass or guitar, for me that's kind of how I stay current. I always try to, push myself and do harder things and, just to do that trick of making sure you're practicing, and, that will help you stay consistent on those instruments. So, next question is favorite band. I shouldn't say I have a favorite band necessarily. I listen to a lot of groups frequently, but right now it's probably Periphery. That's probably the most consistent one. But I also really enjoy bands like Dream Theater, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff that especially that you'll see on my page that is kind of reoccurring. So I don't necessarily have a favorite, but there are a good few those that are kind of my top picks. So the next question is, what other guitars do I have? Everybody except for my dad plays guitar in my family, so that's me, my brother, and my mom. So between all of us, we have, I think, 9 guitars in total, which is, it's a lot. But I have the majority of those, and I think I have 5 since my most recent count, so I'll do a quick little showcase of just my main 5 right now, I guess. So the first guitar is this Squire Strat. This was my very first guitar. My dad bought it for me secondhand in 2007. It's a great guitar, there's nothing wrong with it, but I just don't really play it a whole lot anymore. I just keep this up in my bedroom on a stand, and that's pretty much all the use that it gets. Alright, next up we have my Ibanez 7-string. This is definitely an eye-catcher guitar. I'm not sure if you can see that finish that well, but I'm not sure how it's done. Somebody did this, I think, custom to the body, but it changes colors and reflects the light. It's pretty cool. It's a great guitar. I play it lots. It's not the most expensive guitar, and it's there's nothing overly special about it or complicated, but it's just fun to play and it works and it's great. So next up is my Gretsch Center Block. I really love this guitar. I don't play it as much anymore, but I used to play this pretty consistently for a few years, so it's a great guitar. It's really fun to play, really versatile. But yeah, it's a great guitar, love it. So next up is my Ibanez bass. It's actually probably the last guitar purchase I made back in 2018 or something like that. But yeah, it's a great bass. These basses are super great. They're really versatile. You can really dial them in with, there's a lot of controls there. And yeah, it's super fun to play, sounds great, and that's all that matters to me. Lastly, this is my 5th guitar, I guess. This is my Music Man Majesty. This is definitely my main guitar, and it's my dream guitar. I didn't buy it because it was my dream guitar, but when I kind of looked at what I wanted from guitar and what, you know, I had, between everything I have, everything's great, but I felt like some of them had certain drawbacks and I couldn't necessarily achieve everything I wanted to on one guitar. So when I wrote out a list of what I wanted, you know, my dream instrument or that perfect instrument to do, it kind of lined up perfectly with this guitar here. So this is why I use it so much, is because it really fits what I needed to do. And yeah, this is definitely my favorite guitar, definitely my dream guitar. I'm super blessed to actually have this. Next question is, what strings and picks do you use? So right now for strings, I'm using the Ernie Ball 4610, just the regular slinkies. They're great, I love them. I have contemplated switching down to, I think it's 46 to 9.5. So if you don't know what that means, the higher the number, the thicker the string. So switching to a 9.5 on the higher strings would mean it's a little bit easier to bend, and you know, there's some other tonal characteristics, but it's a little bit easier to use in general. And I've tried, or I shouldn't say easier to use in general, but it's a little bit easier on the fingers. And yeah, I have contemplated switching to them. I actually have a set, but it's not 46 to 9.5. It's a little bit thinner on the bottom, which wasn't really what I was looking for. So I haven't actually used them. And I've gone to order the set I want a few times, but I just haven't for whatever reason. So yeah, currently using 10 to 46, but who knows, I might move to the 10 to 9.5. This is future Matthew here. I'm currently editing this video and I realized I completely left out part of the question. The question was, what kind of strings and picks do you use? And I answered about the strings, but I did not answer about the picks. So just figured I'd come back on and tell you what kind of picks I use. So for the past 2 years, I've been using these John Petrucci Flow picks. They're great, I love them a lot. They're a little bit thicker than your regular pick. They're 2 millimeters. But that being said, they're super comfortable. It feels like the perfect pick. It's a great product. It definitely flows like the name over the strings. And it just feels great in my hand. And yeah, so that's what I've been using for the past 2 years. All right, back to the video. All right, so the next question is not a music related one. This wasn't supposed to be an all music related thing. You could ask me whatever, but of course most of the questions were music based. But this question here is, what is your favorite flavor of ice cream? Mine is gonna be kind of controversial. I love mint ice cream, especially with chocolate chips in it. I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for that. Some might compare it to eating toothpaste or other comparisons like that, but I love it. I think it's great, and I could just eat mint things all day. All right, well that brings this video to an end. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this was entertaining, and you know, maybe I'll do another one of these in the future. So in that case, I'll see you in the next video.